Form language is a visual way of communicating a product's intention, purpose, or it is used to provoke an emotional response. Form language creates a meaningful experience by appealing to the visual sense of the user. To create form language, you have to understand what emotions you are trying to evoke. What words embody the essence of what you're about to design? To establish form language, we often build an inspiration board. We start with words that best embody the personality of the product, and we find images that relate. These images are used as a visual gauge to keep us on the right track. About 6 months ago, Trek was about to kick off development of 3 new mountain bike platforms. So, new form language needed to be established that would give the bikes a fresh new look and would make them work together as a family. It was time to take a different approach. Instead of just using images and words to design from, the idea was to create visual reference tools, icons and sculptures that communicated the new form language for Trek ATB. A lot of research goes into finding out what the vibe is in the marketplace. It is much more than just racers and spandex. You can see here that there are many subcategories and subgroups, each with their own distinct differences. Trying to appeal to just mountain bikers in general would make for a very generic product and it would fail. Mountain bikers ride differently depending on location and terrain. They talk differently, they dress differently. Attention and appreciation to these details is key. Here we have 2 images, both of mountain biking, but they both tell hugely different stories. That being so, we need to get more specific. We cannot generalize the personality of these different riders, who are our potential customers. We have to find words that capture the emotion of specific categories of mountain biking. And underneath these words, you can see another list of words. These are the emotional drivers for these pictures. They tell the story of different vibes and different personalities of the rider. Great, so now what? What are you going to do with a bunch of words? Well, you have to take it a step further. These words that evoke emotion need to be refined into words that have more visual substance. That way, you have something to draw from, literally. A number of sketch concepts were drawn and then refined, but still it did not tell the whole story. It needed to move into 3D. To take it to the next level, the sketch concepts are iterated as rough SOLIDWORKS CAD models. It became quickly apparent what the form language meant beyond the sketchpad. Finishes, colors, materials, all are part of the story. Here we have the race sculpture. Everything you see in this form is designed to communicate those 5 words, which in turn embody the vibe of a mountain bike racing. Accelerating curves, the appearance of speed. All of these details are intended to communicate the emotion of race to the viewer. And then we have the brush sculpture. It's similar, yet with distinct differences. Look closely and it communicates something else entirely. It's heavier, tougher, it's ready to barrel down the side of a mountain without flinching. Here are the 2 sculptures side by side. Compare. They're different looking, but you can see they came from the same family. This is important to a brand such as Trek. So many products are designed to suit so many purposes and all need to look like they came from the same brand. Now we have 2 form language icons that we can use as design reference. The forms and techniques used to make these form icons in SOLIDWORKS can be translated into real bike parts. Here you see the details of a new bike. You can see the elements from the race sculpture making their way into parts of the frame. You can see the same blunted faces, sharp edges, and details. If you take a step back, you can see how all the form elements come together, and pretty soon you have a bike that best embodies all of the words that you started with. As designers, we want to make something look cool, but there's more behind the scenes. Creating the form language is just one small part of the design process that makes a big impact on the success of the product in the end. Creating form icons to drive the design intent is just one technique to ensure that what you are designing ends up fitting the emotion and vibe of your market.